Shout outs to everybody in the building. Make sure you guys hit the like button and support the show on the way in. I am your gracious host, right back at the helm of today's show. What's going on, Mike Matro? Double M in the place to be. Always good to see you. How you been? Shout outs to Double M in the building, Mike Matro. Oh man, I've been telling you guys for a good minute, man. I've been waiting to see what Candice Owens, got cooked up. See what Candice Owens got to say about the situation, because I appreciate that, Mike, man. You always make me feel good, man. I appreciate that, man. It's always good to see you. Mike is definitely, make sure you guys show Mike some love too when you guys come in the building. Mike is definitely Player Talk alumni. Been here from the jump. You did? Shout outs to everybody in the building. Make sure you guys hit the like button, support the channel, and also subscribe before you hit the poll. Candice Owens again, and I don't have any footage of her speaking on Kamala's I guess you could say her Fox interview, but she does got some new videos out of her going at, not even just picking up where she left off, like the last couple videos, because Fox been going in on Kamala. I feel bad, it's like, damn. So there's also another, give me 1 second, y'all. I'm trying to put all this stuff together. There's also another narrative going around that Kamala, that she aced, they're saying that she not aced, but they're saying that she didn't do bad on her Fox interview. I like to, I beg to differ, but in I guess democratic fashion, they found a way to blame the guy. What's his name? What's the guy's name? Weird looking guy, but he grilled her on basically on Fox, and basically they couple days later they're coming back at him saying that, oh well, he was too harsh, he was chasing it, he was looking for clout, he wouldn't let her finish. So I was asking you guys, was he doing too much? Was he really chasing clout like that? Or was he not, letting her speak? But I would like to say, hold on, my bad. Nightbot is on your ass. Grant, what's going on, Grant? Let me time out Nightbot real quick. But yeah, it's like, or was he doing a good interview trying to move? Was he trying to move forward? Was he trying to move the interview forward because he knew she was going to come up there with the, with the word salad that she's been using the whole time? And honestly, everybody's kind of going in on Kamala. Like literally, right after the Fox interview, man, white people start going in on Kamala, talking real crazy. I'm like, damn, I thought brothers was gonna do this, because, well, let me tell you where it started, because we already figured out where it started. It started when she wheeled out Obama. And shout outs to my white players, shout outs to shit, even the ladies got mad. Rightfully so. Some brothers and myself called it out. and talked about it because it was insulting. But shit, once she called out Obama, I ain't gonna lie, I just started seeing white people throw her under the bus. Man, women, cat, dog. I'm like, damn. They're giving the response that the brothers should have gave. You know what I'm saying? And then, like I said, what else is annoying to me is that they keep trying to make, and it's not even the government, it's us, keep trying to make black people the face of weed. You know, so on the last show, I did a poll asking, okay, do you think people look at, black people as political children? You know, it's like it's kind of like, oh yeah, we're gonna give you loans, we're gonna do some tax cuts, we're gonna increase the home buyer, the first time home buyer, we're gonna give you some credits down, and we're gonna give you some weed. Then we're gonna sedate you, we're gonna shut you up and give you some goddamn weed. That's all I heard. That wasn't appealing. So after she wheeled Obama out, man, I just seen all kinds of shit. Latinos going in on her, all kinds of people. I'm like, damn. And the crazy thing is that she kind of would have been better if she wheeled out Obama for the white people. But I guess when they saw her trying to down the brothers, and I guess, they just start going in, And maybe rightfully so. I mean, because I'm not going to lie, white people don't play about Obama. White people love Obama. So, they probably felt slighted for that also. So we catch up to today, y'all, and it's some more of the same. We got they said he's campaigning for Kamala. So I guess he's probably gonna do that for the next couple of days. That's gonna be interesting. So we're gonna see how this plays out. Y'all make sure y'all hit the like button, support the show, subscribe before you hit the poll. Thank you to everybody that's hit the subscribe button. Your next step will be to hit the poll. Got a couple votes already. We're gonna be reading this periodically throughout the stream. 6 votes. Has Kamala lied about anything? If so, what? 33% said her grandma's lineage. 17% says she didn't grow up middle class. Hey yo, y'all crazy. 50% said box wine. She be drunk off the box wine. Alright, y'all say she off the Franzia. Nobody thinks she's been truthful. That's crazy. Alright. Keep on voting. We're gonna get your thoughts. You guys can support the show. Let's get at least 2 to 3 supporters, so I can drop the link and you guys can come up and chop it up. Let's go over these. Let's critique this together. And also, I would like you guys to, if you got any questions, you can send them via Cash App or PayPal. And I want you guys to let me know, what did she lie about? So you got Candice Owens. Hold on. I'm trying to find it right here. Going in. But before we get to that, Let's start today's show. It's Player Talk Radio. Let's get it. Let's go.
Ms. Harris, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Brad.
Thank you.
We'll see how this goes for you.
Mrs. Harris, how many people do you believe have crossed the borders? Miss Harris. Kamala, please. Mrs. Vice President, it's a simple question.
I'm speaking. Excuse me, I'm speaking.
I apologize. All right, well, I'm just going to say it. She destroyed him. Oh, my gosh. Right? Oh, golly, he's so embarrassed. I bet those Republicans are regretting that one. Kamala.
Oh, God. Oh, that shit was funny. All right, let's go, y'all. Give me 1 second. Oh, wow. They said, was she previously married? God damn. Candice been going in. Shit. Hold on, y'all. It's going to be a lengthy show. Hold on, y'all.
Big way. And I want to say this, I feel it in my soul, in my spirit, that this woman is an operative, that she was selected and that she was groomed by government agencies.
Lord have mercy. What's going on, Tampa? Shout outs to Tampa Supreme in the building. Shout outs to my wrench holders. Make sure you guys hit the like button, share the show, support the show. It's Player Talk Radio. Let's go.
Comfortable saying that publicly. I hope Kamala comes out and sues me, because that would afford us discovery.
What's going on, Brittany?
So we can get answers to many questions that we have. She would have to prove that what I was saying was untrue, thanks to strong defamation laws. I've been receiving, by the way, as of late, a ton of emails about Tim Walz as well. Kamala's VP pick, a suspicious VP pick, because who exactly picked him? Uh-oh. Absolutely no one out there thinks that it was Kamala herself. I said, yeah, give me the governor of Minnesota, huh? Who is he? What do they have on Tim Walz, if anything? Today, we're going to take a brief look into some of the rumors that have been circulating about him. So let's immediately get started. Welcome back to Candice.
Shout outs to Border Control. What's up? Oh, man. Y'all
all right, so right at the top, in case you guys missed.
Y'all hit the subscribe button before you hit the poll. And most definitely support the show by hitting the Cash app. Send some questions in, y'all. I got you.
To the update on Instagram. Yesterday, obviously, we covered the article that was written by former Japan Times editor Yoichi Shimatsu, who claims that he ran the same circles as Kamala Harris in Berkeley, personally hates her, made that very clear, hates her mother.
Damn.
Who he claims was a part of the MK Ultra program. Now, we did not speak much or at length about the MK Ultra program. We have very much on this show. For those of you that are new to listening to this podcast, it is an important program for you to familiarize yourself.
Now, MK Ultra is, I'm not going to get into that, but surrounding the presidential candidates, even the presidents, it's just filled with a lot of people also too that does conspiracy theories, the conspiracy theorist type people. So on your own time, go look that shit up, because it's up to you guys to believe in that shit. All right, let's go.
With, because you do have to become awakened to how tremendously evil our government is, that they engaged in this long period of being quite obsessed with how to brainwash people. And I'm talking brainwash individuals. They were obsessed with being able to delete memories from their brains and being able to insert memories into their brains.
What's going on? What's going on, Shannon B? Shout out to you, player. Hey, that you know what? You're right about that, Brittany. I was gonna name the title of conspiracy theory comes true. Like, you know, conspiracy the truth theory, or like a lot of conspiracy theories came true. You know? You know, so the reason why I say to tell people to go do it on their own is because, you know, you got to know stuff in life versus the information that you're taking on, and then, you know what I'm saying, you can decipher what's true or not, because I don't want to be one of those people to shove the conspiracies down your throat. You know what I'm saying? I don't, you know, I don't think that's cool. You know? Right. Shout outs to Shannon B. Yeah, I like my audience, you know, and I have a smart audience, by the way. I have one of the smartest audience here. So it's like, you know, I want you guys to think for yourself. I don't want to shove any type of information down anybody's throat, you know. Y'all hit the like button, y'all. Support the show by hitting the Cash app. Definitely, we need your support on today's show. We need at least 5 contributors on today's show. Thank you guys for supporting Player Talk Radio. Let's get into the show. Let's go.
Really terrifying stories of people that they were able to convince to commit crimes, people that you thought, you learned about all these serial killers. Oh my gosh, Netflix telling you about serial killers. This must be the story. A lot of these people were government operatives. I mean, I would offer a guess that the concept of a serial killer came out of government operatives. I truly believe government programs like MK Ultra and the Charles Manson murders is a great starting point. It's why I say you have to read that book, Chaos, because it deeply dives into the MK Ultra program, but also makes you aware of the plausibility of a mass psychosis. That's why that book is just so incredible, because it was the Charles Manson murders that ended the hippies generation. And I want to be clear, the hippies generation, they thought like, oh, we just were doing this. No, that too was a government operation. They flooded the streets with LSD. They were even...
Well, not even just that. A lot of y'all may know me from the Nature Boy series. You know, I've been putting in work for a long time, y'all. A lot of y'all may know me from the Nature Boy series. Listen, there's a not just the Charles Manson thing. What really ended that era and ushered in a lot of this stuff that we see today that a lot of people hold conspiracies about is cult culture. Cult culture. What's in the word culture? Cult. You know? It was a thing about, you know, I'm not going to sing for y'all, but cult of personality. Cult of personality. It's the cult. And the internet is, the internet actually pushes cult culture. High key. And I got introduced to this other guy. I really got to do my research on him. Because, you know, we talked about a whole bunch of different stuff you know, during the Nature Boy series, and we talked about, like, you know, how people have what's called the Peter Pan syndrome. You know what I'm saying? You know, how people want to escape. You know, it's a form of escapism. They want to escape the world that they're living in these days. You know, people want to escape. Shit, it wouldn't be big if you didn't build a world that people didn't want to escape from. And people escape through, even on YouTube, with some of their favorite content creators, you know? But the sad part about the Peter Pan syndrome is that a lot of people don't know those kids are dead. But anyway, that's neither here nor there, nor the price of tea where I'm at. You guys hit the like button, support the show, sponsor a coffee. I had a lot of guys help me rescue black women from this cult. You know, we've saved more than 7 sisters from this cult. From going over there and ones that were already over there. And there's another guy that I want you guys to go look up. You don't hear about him, but if you know, you know. His name is Father Yad. I think that's it. I tried to play one of his videos on here. They struck me with the quickness. You got to go look that shit up on your own time, or we got to do it over on Rumble. What's going on, C-Wag? Go look up Father Yod. All right? Y'all make sure y'all hit the subscribe button before you guys hit the poll. And definitely support the show. You know, you can support the show via Cash App. Hopefully we get our super chat back. That'll be the easiest way to support the show and get your questions read. But support the show via Cash App. Let's get it. It's Player Talk.
And slipping LSD, because that was their drug of choice. They thought that LSD would provide the means to brainwash people.
And what is LSD? It's not really brainwashing. It's escaping. Now, I'm not going to lie. I've dibbled and dabbled. You know, I've dibbled and dabbled. So like I said, I don't want to force any information down you guys' throats. If you've never dabbled with, I never did acid, but I do love shrooms. Oh yes, I like shrooms. They're not necessarily drugs, but certain drugs are for the weak, I would say. Because I'm an artist. Anytime I did something, it was to create or to enhance certain things, right? So, of course, if you've never done LSD or shrooms or any type of, I wouldn't necessarily say drug, but any type of stimulant that can get you in a different mindset, of course you're going to call it brainwashing. But the proper term for it is escapism. It's a form of escapism. All right, let's get to it.
People, and that was proven successful with Charles Manson's little hippie commune, because he was an operative for them, and they were obsessed with getting people on LSD. I believe the reasons for that was because they wanted to crush Christianity in this country, and what better way to do that than via the sexual revolution? Everybody's sleeping with everybody, living in a commune, sex, love, rock and roll. The music is adding to that. Music, it's real frequencies. It makes you feel a certain way. Certain bands were involved in this program. It's very clear that there are a lot of government agents that are in Hollywood. Always has been the circumstance. So they're trying to tell you that's all conspiracy, it's all crazy. Guys, read the government documents. They are declassified. Learn the truth about the Charles Manson murders.
Now,
I
love Candice, but Candice, I gotta stop you right there. It was about it bled into minimalism. It wasn't necessarily about drugs and hippies. They were potheads. It wasn't about no goddamn drugs like that. Okay? What's going on, Shinobi? Y'all support the channel now. Now listen to what I'm saying. It was about minimalism. It was about not following the government. It was about peace. It was about music. It was about a lot of different things. But you got to remember, other movements were similar and sort of represented the same thing, like disco. Disco. You know, you got disco music, which was about a lot of other different shit. It kind of poured into a lot of other different shit. They had to stop disco real quick. All right. So the hippie culture kind of are. We'll get into it. We'll get into it. Faye, why do you always come in here and ask weird questions? Did I do the research? I'm a DJ. It's my job to know about stuff like this. But anyway, let's go. What's going on, Faye?
Fully just be willing to confront how evil your government is. And it wasn't just LSD, by the way, that was being used as a mechanism to control people and to brainwash them. It was also sexual assault. They wanted to experience.
There's really no research behind it either. All of that stuff was lifestyles. Those were people's that bled into lifestyle, which cults bleed into lifestyles also.
Experiment with whether or not they could brainwash people via sexual assault. You can look this up, by the way. It's so abundantly obvious and true that even Wikipedia shares that. basic information about the MK Ultra program, and it's really shocking to see how many people are on that list. Trust nothing when Netflix is presenting to you a deep story about somebody. Oh, let me tell you the truth about Jeffrey Dahmer. I have my own suspicions that he too was somebody that was a part of a government program. Anyways, we're not going to get lost on that. The point is that the government is interested, has always been interested in how to brainwash the masses, how to brainwash individuals. And this is something that I have been rather obsessed with this year, learning about various psychoses. I think most people are joining this program now because we're realizing that COVID, we got to really just see a mass psychoses implemented before our very eyes. Some people who are listening to this podcast fell victim to it. And by the way, that is understandable. It's totally understandable. You have to forgive yourselves because...
I'm going to let you guys know the government don't have to brainwash you into doing a goddamn thing. You're going to do it yourself. Government don't have to brainwash you for putting your information on the internet. You're going to do it yourself. The government don't have to brainwash you into doing shit. Other people will, including yourself. I don't know why people think they're that. You got to tell people the government is brainwashing them because a lot of people think they're special. Listen. You have dumb people and smart phones. People are going to brainwash. You only need to brainwash smart people, and they're wrapped up in the bullshit too. So.
These people are way ahead of the ball. They know how to do it. They know how to use the media. They know how to use repetition. They know how to use gaslighting. Yeah. Sigmund Freud being the father of...
But see, the word for that, Brittany, is indoctrinate. Indoctrinate. We're indoctrinated,
These
techniques,
they are way advanced. But you guys, we are all kind of catching up to this. And there is just something about this man, this journalist, Yoichi, coming out and saying that Kamala Harris's mother was a part of this program that just makes perfect sense. Claiming that Kamala Harris, in that same piece, was previously married to a British-Canadian guy and basically used her connections within the deep state to virtually delete this from the record in preparation for this run. Yeah. That just passes the sniff test for me. We did our due diligence on that very quickly, and we came across what we were clear was a potential record between a Kamala D. Harris and a Philip D. Henderson that we found in Reno. Now, we were supposed to receive that record today from the recorder's office. It said 24 hours after we paid for it. We still have not yet received it. That's why we're running a bit late. We just kept refreshing. It's been more than 24 hours. However, we do feel that we can safely debunk this one. Absolutely, because upon further digging, we found a different Kamala D. Harris that has a different middle name. And I think that is the one that married Philip D. Harris. So if you've been sending us information on that, please refocus your attention, refocus your research on trying to find a record of the marriage, which may exist. We don't know if the person's name is Philip. We're trying to find a previous marriage of...
Damn, so she's just digging into her shit. I don't like that. I mean, I get it. You said that Japanese man is legit. I got to see who it is. I mean, I get it, but it's like... Kamala is an open book while not being an open book. She's like an open thesaurus. You don't even really need to dig into her background. What's going on, Dima? I wonder if that's O'Shea's Dima. You said, do you think she'll come down from the coconut tree? I got another funny I got another funny cartoon to show y'all. Stay tuned, y'all. I got you.
Kamala, which existed in maybe the UK or in Canada. He says that it was in the society page in Canada. Somebody is collecting newspapers. I've had some emails of people that say that they recall this. They don't have it. We need more than that, and we are still awaiting a response from Yoichi. I feel in my gut he is.
Yeah, but it's like you don't need to get super into her background. What's going on? What's going on, Don Philly? What's going on, player? Good to see you. You don't need to get super into her background because, like, she tells on herself. And yeah, she lying her ass off, but still,
is going to respond that he will get around to it. Even though I believe he currently lives in Hong Kong, we were able to get his actual email. But there's something else here that I would like to say regarding Donald Harris, Kamala's father. I also feel certain that Donald Harris is completely lying about his identity. Due to the communication that we are having right now in the background with people who would know this as a fact. People that we're not willing or able to discuss today, but we are going to as we collect more information. I do feel that we will be able to prove beyond a shadow of a doubt before we get to the election that my instincts, that Beryl, Grandma Beryl, and great-grandma Christiana Brown, that Iris Finnegan, that the women that were pictured in the photos in Kamala's book, The Truths We Hold, my instincts are going to be proven correct, that these are not her biological grandparents. That yes, of course, these women did in fact exist. That's the best way to tell a lie, is to include some truths in there. You want to do 2 truths, 1 lie. I've always believed these women existed. There's no doubt of that. And I believe that Donald Harris was exposed to these women. There's no doubt about that in my mind either. But I fully believe that these women were the help. That is just the only thing that makes sense. By the way, a ton of you guys have communicated to me that Snopes has debunked our Grandma Beryl theory by finding the true Beryl death certificate.
Uh-oh. Now, she has another video where she went back, right? And this is going to get sticky.
Which shows that Beryl died in 1995. I'm showing you that death certificate. I just also want to be clear. I don't know if you've skipped episodes. We showed this.
I wonder. I know she's not going to do it. But it is interesting if Kamala would ever sit down with Candice, even after she wins or loses.
That's this death certificate on the show first. We highlighted it as possible that this could be a Beryl. But we deemed it unlikely, given the fact, and let's pull it back up, that the person who signed off on it, we said, we couldn't identify as the member of the family, Douglas Finnegan. We still, after having spoken to Kamala's family, cannot identify who that is that signed this death certificate. And we also deemed it unlikely because if you look at the cause of death, it says bed sores. Okay, so Donald Harris, a wealthy professor who traveled the world, in my mind, I said he wouldn't allow his mother to die from not being rolled over in 1995, but I digress. If they are verifying, as Snopes has, that this is in fact the correct Beryl that is pictured there, then this only further confirms my suspicion that the woman was not the wealthy descendant of previous slave owners who received what would have been millions of dollars because they handed over their slaves. They got paid for their slaves, rather, by the British government when they abolished it. Yeah, that kind of doesn't make sense to me. Just died of bed sores. Then there's this, okay? We were able to determine that a woman who went by Beryl or Christie, we keep seeing those 2 names together, applied for a housekeeping position in 1975. This was in the Kingston Gleaner. Employment wanted a household female. Experienced recommended women live in or out seek employment as housekeeper, cook, laundress, days worker, nursemaid, Beryl or Christie. Has Snopes yet worked to debunk our assertion that Christiana Brown, the one that is shown in Donald Harris's essay, this woman may in fact have been a laundress who identified herself as a laundress in a case related to election fraud in Jamaica? Are they too busy to look into that? Are we supposed to still pretend that a worldly political woman who owned and operated dry goods stores?
Yeah, Kristen, they're saying that she went in, she did the same on Obama.
Stores and supported local politicians and spoke every day about trade and taught Donald trade, as he asserted throughout his piece, would describe herself as a mere laundress?
But see, this is a different type of research because they said all the presidents through bloodline are related to each other. It is a different type of research right here.
Listen, like I said, some people who we are speaking to who would know for a fact whether or not what I was saying was true or false, are making us feel certain that we are barking up the right tree and they are helping in this investigation. And so we are going to stick with it. Something is just not right about Donald Harris. It's not right when relatives are saying they've never met his mom. Relatives that are close to him are saying they've never met his mom. None of this makes any sense. I believe that Kamala is lying about her genealogy, and I believe the state is helping her to do that, just as Yoichi is asserting. I believe there is a collaborative effort here behind the scenes. And my gut sends me that way because, I mean, I just put myself in her situation. If I had a person with a platform of my size out there saying, Candice is lying about the fact that her grandma was born and raised between St. Thomas and Tortola and grew up on the islands, and like that her grandma is black, I would be first and foremost livid because of how close I was to my grandma, okay? Like raised in her house during my formative years. My grandmother is Caribbean. Like I would be in 5 seconds out there being like.
So they're making, well, they're not making, because I'm not even gonna lie, Kamala actually set this standard. You know, they're making a big hoopla about Kamala being Indian, you know, and then it's crazy because it's like what would prompt somebody to lie about their background? And now Kamala's on, I mean, not Kamala, my bad, Candice is on her ass. So that's beyond interesting right there. Candice is on Kamala's ass. Kamala hasn't said anything about it. Even the guy, I think the guy at Fox, he took it easy on Kamala and didn't ask, you know, he didn't ask her about her lineage or Beryl or all these other people. They would have really went in on his ass. So they said that he declined to do a part 2. So it's just funny now because it's like a couple days later, now you're getting this, now you're getting people saying that he lost, you know, which I think he did a good job. I mean, in the beginning, you know, to the untrained eye, when you watch it the first time, you would think that he's cutting her off, not letting her speak. But no, he's tired of the word salad. You know, he's stopping the word salad before it even started. So I knew what he was doing, but now, you know, you would think guys like that would get raises over at Fox, but now they're trying to say, oh, he was clout chasing and stuff like that. I think a lot of journalists are probably jealous of him. You know, but again, we'll see how it plays out.
Like, who are you to tell me that my grandmother is not black?
Make sure you guys subscribe before you hit the poll. Make sure you guys subscribe before you hit the poll. Let's see what you guys are saying on the poll. We got 56 votes. Has Kamala lied about anything? If so, what? 39% says her grandma and lineage. 7% says no, she's being truthful and on point. Okay, we got some Kamalians in the chat. Okay, think she's truthful and on point. 10% says she didn't grow up in the middle class. 45%, oh, now it's 44% says she be drunk off the box wine. That's hilarious. All right, let's go. Y'all hit the like button if you got any questions. Support the channel to get your questions read. It's Player Talk Radio. Let's go.
Tell me that my grandmother did not grow up on the islands. Tell me that my grandmother didn't have a thick Caribbean accent. And first and foremost, I used to correct my grandma. She'd say, throw it away. Throw it away. I said, Grandma, it's throw.
It's
throw, Grandma. Throw it away. No, Grandma, it's throw, Grandma. When I was a little kid, she'd be like, out the light. I'd be like, Grandma, we don't say out the light. It's turn the lights off, Grandma. There's just no way that I would just be
knock off the light. Dash it way.
Mom, only just one picture of her in a book, and then like, I'm not even going to answer any questions about my heritage. Something is wrong. We all feel it. She is lying about her genealogy. And the person.
And this is why a lot of the pro-blacks can't stick beside her, because they were riding off this no pun intended, because you know you said box wine. They were riding off this wave of, you know, they're not like us. They were riding off of that wave. They were riding off the wave of calling people tethers and who's foundational Black American and who's this and who's the, they were riding off that. So we're at this weird point where you have the pro-blacks, the racists, the feminists, and a whole bunch of other people. Hold on. Let me get Nightbot. What's going on, Paul? Y'all hit the subscribe button. We got all of them. We got all of them agreeing with each other. So they're agreeing with each other. They're like, we can't vote for Kamala. It's to the point that some of those groups can't even vocalize it. You know what I'm saying? They can't even vocalize it. All right, let's go.
That I'm in communication with, like I said, we're collaborating right now, who's being very forthcoming with information, told me that in Jamaica there was this huge importation of a lot of Chinese and Jewish communists, or rather people who purported that they were fleeing communism, who then settled in Jamaica, is what I should say, right? So they get there in Jamaica, and I find that to be of great interest to me because America dealt with a similar influx of a bunch of immigrants who purported to be fleeing communism in Russia, who didn't actually flee communism. They brought it to America. Hence McCarthy, Senator McCarthy, he was a hero.
Yeah, they say she's Canadian, but I think she did go to Howard University, so.
Oh, he was telling the truth. You learned that wrong in your history.
Hit the subscribe button, y'all. We stream all the time, so definitely you don't have to doom scroll. We'll always be on. Make sure you turn on all your post notifications so you'll know every time we go live. Make sure you guys hit the like button before you hit the poll and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you guys also hit the Cash App or the PayPal. Support the show by buying me a coffee if you can. Player Talk Radio, let's get it.
Books. Communists are very good at assuming different identities. They are gypsies, and I remain extremely bothered by the fact that Kamala just didn't mention the fact that she had all these white relatives that she was extremely close to anywhere. She just rinsed it.
Well, I mean, to be fair, all Black people have a white side of their family that a lot of them don't know about. Some of us do, though. All black people have a white side of their family. All white people have a black side of their family. I'm being dead ass. Let's go.
Rinsed it completely from her background and her history. I find that to be a severe lie by omission. Here's the thing. I know we're not supposed to go down in conspiracy land.
They rhyme.
I just live there permanently because I think conspiracy land is gut land, and we are just all coming to terms with the fact that something is wrong. There is too much synergy between what is happening in France, Emmanuel Macron, his shady background, his wife, who's definitively born a man, okay? Him also being raised by his grandparents, shady, broken family structure, didn't really know his parents growing up, but his grandma was there and raised. It's all so related. The Barack Obama story follows the Emmanuel Macron story, follows the Kamala Harris story. How are they all growing up with such a similar?
This is recent. This is recent, D. She did another video, though, exposing about her grandmother. And this is after it. This is a couple days ago. All right, let's get it, y'all.
Similar.
Y'all hit the subscribe button. Let's run it up to 4K. Let's go.
Non-existence. Just a non-existence, right? Like, it doesn't make any sense that this many people who are being put into positions of power have such shady upbringings. It's not that difficult to say, this is my mom and this is my dad, and they raised me in some capacity. Also, remember yesterday when I said that there was virtually no information? They tried to wipe the information that Barack Obama lived for like 8 to 10 years, first years of his life in Indonesia. And then like that one reporter found the one pamphlet that showed that he went by Barry Soetoro. He also went by Barry Soetoro in college. His name was Barry Soetoro. And there was very little information.
Damn. It's funny when they start to like when they start to like go into these people's backgrounds, and it's like his name was Saladin, and he's from a East Russian army and all this other shit, right? You know what that shit reminds me of? It reminds me of Metal Gear Solid. I'm a huge Metal Gear Solid fan. You know how it's like it reminds me of like Big Boss's story. He defected to the Soviet Union, and you know it's like damn, okay, shit. Yes, he got. I just be thinking these niggas grew up in America and shit, and just was politically savvy. Very Satoru. This nigga name was Satoru. Shit, let me know. All right. Shit.
Information available about Lolo Satoru. Very few pictures available about Lolo Satoru, his stepdad. Well, I didn't realize that Judge Joe Brown, man, that judge is coming with the receipts, actually sat down in an interview with Scoon TV and called out Lolo Satoru. He claims that he was a CIA operative. Take a listen.
Shit. Judge Joe Brown.
Well, there are pictures of Bush with his arm around 8-year-old Barack Obama.
He probably mad because they locked his ass up. I don't think they let Judge Joe Brown into the bootleg, y'all. So he probably got a bone to pick. I've never seen him with a Mason ring. I've never seen him in the bootleg, y'all.
Obama, because his stepdaddy, adopted daddy, Lolo Satoru, had done a lifetime worth of business with the Bushes.
Wow.
Uncle George Herbert Walker, after whom George Herbert Walker Bush 1 president, was named, founded Halliburton in 1946 in Oklahoma. And Lolo Satoru had been international executive vice president for Standard Oil.
There was talk of him being a CIA asset.
Oh, well, yeah. See, he ran the death squads for the Indonesian army. On his own call, anyone could be assassinated. So when George Herbert Walker Bush became head of the CIA under the Ford administration, he just got with his old buddy in the oil business, Lolo Satoru, and pulled off the hits. See, Barack's grandmother has been acknowledged as being the woman that operated the channels through which CIA money went to the Southwest Pacific. So she introduced her daughter, who had just had Barack, to Lolo Satoru, and they got married, and Lolo Satoru adopted Barack Obama. The name was changed to Barry Satoru. Now, when he went to high school in Hawaii, I know about that high school. I almost sent my oldest son to it. I could afford it, but I didn't think he deserved it. 20 years ago, the tuition was $95,000 a year, not including room and board. When Obama went there, I've talked to 2 of his classmates. They independently state that the tuition, not including room and board, was $45,000.
Damn.
Now, Business Insider reports his income for 2017 at over $200 million net. That's after taxes, deductions, write-offs. For this last year, 2018, they reported it as $570+ million. And that's after all deductions.
So let me ask y'all the question in the chat. Y'all hit the subscribe button. Subscribe to the channel. Let's run the show up. Support the channel, y'all. Do you think Barack Obama fucked up by resurfacing? Because now they're getting back up in his shit. Did Barack Obama fuck up by resurfacing? Because now I'm hearing that he's campaigning for Kamala right now. So he's on the road campaigning for Mama Mala, Big Mala. You think he's getting drugged into her bullshit? All right.
It's tax right. Trump doesn't make that net. I mean,
he said nobody remembers him from Chicago, but I guess Michelle Obama, she lived in O-Block. Let's go.
Even some of the richest people in America don't make that. Why? Because when his stepdaddy died, he was one of the 10, 15 richest men on earth. And he left everything in a trust fund.
This is lineage.
Operated out of Indonesia, so the American government can't touch it. That makes Barack Obama 1/3 beneficiary for the assets of one of the 10, 15 richest men on earth. See, so we got a game run on us. So, you know that little thing that Bush W does when he gets with Michelle, they giggle and he gives her candy. The inside thing is that's
It's a bullet in that candy. Let me stop. He said, I think Obama has been behind the scenes the whole time. The Biden, yeah. Go look at the thumbnail on my last video. If you want a good laugh.
Supposed to be the same kind of candy he used to give to her husband when he was 6, 7, 8 years old.
But that's sinister. You think they'll let Obama have that much power? You think they'll let him have that much power? Do you really think the U.S. entrusts a black man? Well, I don't know. Anything's possible at this point. But do you think they'll let him have that much power? Oh, you guys believe it? Okay.
Oh, wow.
All I'm saying is that when you hear the truth, it just hits differently, and it's the only thing that makes sense, because we're looking around and we're going, where are these people coming from? Like, it feels like they're just being minted as leaders. I mean, Kamala.
How did he just get pushed to the front like that? So what do you think? Y'all don't think Donnie Boy? Y'all don't think T-Rump is a Mason? You don't got no rings? You know, all the presidents are they allegedly are Masons. Or has some type of degree in masonry. So maybe Trump can't openly say something about him, because then it'll be racist. You dig?
Harris didn't even win. They just moved Joe Biden aside and said, here you go, vote for Kamala. I mean, that's
yeah. I don't know if Nightbot did it. Did Nightbot? I got to get on Nightbot. I can't see the full chat. I can only see a little bit of the chat, y'all.
Completely crazy. If this is supposed to be a democracy, right? If we're supposed to be having this system in which any person can be president of the United States, why does it only feel as though people that are deeply connected in a web of politics are the ones that do become presidents of the United States? Why does it always feel that it's somebody who has a shady upbringing, okay, someone like Barack Obama, who spends time on an island, very likely was a part of a military program, people like the Bush family, like the Clinton family? Why does it feel as though we don't have the system that we purport to have? Something is very wrong. I believe these individuals are being bred. I think a lot of these people also are being selected after they are caught committing crimes, because then they know that they can be controlled. And when I say who is controlling them, I'm referring to the CIA. And I think that everyone's waking up to it right now. And so we got to acknowledge it. We have to speak about it. And it's the only way that we're going to be able to come up with a conclusion. I also want to now speak about what's going on with Tim Walz. I was reticent to speak about this.
All right, we're back. I don't know what happened. My bad, y'all. This thing is tripping. All right, hold on. We're back. What's going on, Forrest? Shout outs to Forrest Gibbs in the building. What's going on, player? Hold on, man. All right, my bad. We're back. Okay, she started to go in on Tim Walz. So it looks like everybody that's around Kamala. It looks like everybody that's around Kamala. What's going on, Mo? It looked like everybody that's around Kamala is literally getting they background dived into. So, all right, let's get back into it.
Or to have. Something is very wrong. I believe these individuals are being bred. I think a lot of these people also are being selected after they are caught committing crimes because then they know that they can be controlled. And when I say who is controlling them, I'm referring to the CIA. And I think that everyone's waking up to it right now. And so we got to acknowledge it. We have to speak about it. And it's the only way that we're going to be able to come up with a conclusion. I also want to now speak about what's going on with Tim Walz. I was reticent to speak about this, but I think there's been too much rumbling about it and it's time to. First, I want to throw it to one of our sponsors because the incompetence of the Biden-Harris administration is something that we cannot handle as a country for another 4 years. It's why many Americans have been buying tangible assets such as precious metals like gold and silver. I've teamed up with a great company who's made buying metals very easy, transparent, and simple, and that company is Goldco. They're a huge supporter of the show, and they're very good at what they do. So if you're interested in buying precious metals, or you just
look at she good at that promo. All right, let's get it.
Has legs to it, so you can go, okay, we're not certain for sure. And regarding Tim Walz, parking.
You know what's funny? Because I like Candice Owens, obviously. I think she's dope. But I see a lot of brothers. I've noticed that Candice Owens is the girl a lot of you brothers couldn't get in high school. Because she probably was dating a Brad or whatever she had going on, right? I see a lot of brothers. She probably was the girl y'all couldn't get in high school. But the funny part is that the guys that do like Candice Owens, y'all wouldn't have gotten along with her anyway. Just like a lot of women that y'all claim to like or want. That's funny as hell. I just have to throw that out there.
Aside any allegations, I do want to say this. He just gives me the heebie-jeebies. You guys know everybody knows what the heebie-jeebies are. Women, we know what the heebie-jeebies are. Okay, it's a spiritual condition that women have. You can't explain it. You come across someone, you just go, don't trust it. And there's no words, like you don't know, but you know. Look at somebody just like, I don't have any facts, but I know.
Well, I mean, obviously him and Kamala came out of nowhere. A lot of people like that's kind of the problem with Kamala right now. She came out of nowhere. And then he pops up like, okay, damn, well, who's going to be the vice president? And then he pops up. And then when he pops up, she's leaning on him, using him as a guard dog in interviews. And people are like, yo, who is this? Somebody ordered pizza? Who's this guy? You know, so.
Just no, I don't know, but I know. That's the heebie-jeebies. That's how the heebie-jeebies work. It's just a thing, a vibe that goes around. What we do know for certain regarding Tim Walz is that he has a loose relationship, I would say, with the truth. I mean, it was back in a radio interview in 2019. He claimed that he was in Hong Kong on the day of the Tiananmen Square massacre. He wasn't. And they said, oopsie, I got my timeline mixed up. Like, really? I feel like that's not something you forget. Like, I was there 9/11 at the World Trade Center. Oh, actually, I was a little confused. I was a couple of weeks later, and I was actually not even in New York. Huh? Then there was the Harris campaign circulating a clip on X where he was speaking about gun violence. And he said, we can make sure that those weapons of war that I carried in war is the only place where those weapons are at. And he heavily suggested that he was therefore in a combat zone, weapons I carried in war. And it turned out that that just wasn't true.
So this basically their whole everything is stolen valor at this point. At this point, everything is stolen valor.
According to the Nebraska Army National Guard, he enlisted in April of 1981, just 2 days after his 17th birthday. And he entered service as an infantryman, completing a 12-week Army infantry basic training course before graduating from high school. In 1996, he transferred to the Minnesota Army National Guard. In 2003, he was deployed to Italy, which was just like a support position of the active military forces. He was never actually put in the combat zone himself, which explains why he
in the Army National Guard, you
cannot even load a shotgun. I can't believe he did this, had cameras following him. He was just going to show he's a man. And we're supposed to believe he's like some war vet and he's going to go shoot some pheasants. And unfortunately, just couldn't load a shotgun. I mean,
all right. So what are y'all thoughts? What's going on? It's a lot of stolen valor. People ain't who they say they are. It's a lot of coons, smoke and mirrors, white husbands, politics, wheeling out Obama. Lord have mercy. What are they running on the American people?
I mean, take a look at this. It's just incredible.
Yeah, that's my theory. And it never fits quite right. Never fits quite right. Just not quite right. How do you give it back?
Governor, what kind of gun is it?
This is a Beretta A400. I bought it when I was shooting a lot of trap because it has a kind of their patented thing, a kickoff. So when you get old, it doesn't hurt your shoulder as much.
I think that was it was supposed to be designed as some press that was going to bring Republican voters to him, and it did the exact opposite. Let me tell you, the red-blooded conservatives will not be voting for him based on that clip of him being completely unable to load a shotgun despite not being in a combat zone. Anyways, the allegations that most people have been reluctant to cover. There's no big conspiracy going on here. We're just waiting for more proof. They are, of course, way more serious than whether or not he was in a combat zone. Look, here's the thing that I'll say. Stereotypes. I like them. I believe in them. I don't believe stereotypes come from nowhere. I think it's fine for us to admit, like, hey, if you had to pick like the greatest driver in America, you wouldn't be like, give me the Asian woman, right? I think that's fair. I think it's fair. There are Asian stereotypes, Black people stereotypes. If you're like, hey, I really want to get my accounting done, taxes done, like you're not going to be like, give me the female Black girl. I don't know. Of course, I'm not saying you can't be like brilliant. My sister's an accountant and she's really good at math. But I'm saying if you just had to like quickly pick someone in a room based on stereotypes, you're like, okay. And there are straight man stereotypes and there's homosexual man stereotypes. And I would just say, like, as a straight man stereotype off the bat, I don't think that straight men, when they are employed at schools, like start clubs for homosexuals. Like, I just don't think that that's something that happens. And Tim Walz did that. And the NPR like kind of came out with this story and really tried to sell it to Americans by writing about a guy named Jacob Raton, who apparently was one of the students at the school that Tim Walz went through. I'm going to just read this to you directly. Taunts and threats escalated as rumors about Jacob Raton's sexual orientation swirled around his southern Minnesota high school.
Like, who cares though? Like, it's 2024. Like, people can be gay.
During his senior year in 1999. Like, right there, I was kind of like, really? Like in the 90s, like taunts and threats for being gay. It's giving the Laramie Project vibes, which is like, we're not being told the truth. Whatever. Let's just take this
who cares now?
At face value. It goes on to say someone chalked a slur on his driveway in giant letters. Like, was I living in a different 1999 existence? Like, I feel like everybody in the 90s just like got along. Like, nobody was writing like gay slurs on somebody's driveway in chalk, but whatever sells papers, I guess. His mother recalled being horrified by anonymous mail that arrived at their house.
What's going on, Toya? Good morning.
People were just this obsessed with
Always good to see you.
the idea that someone might be
How are you?
gay in 1999. They were just like chalking up his driveway. And after the teenager found his car window smashed in the high school parking lot, this feels like a movie, he told officials at Mankato West High School that he intended to come out of the closet and sought their support to start a gay-straight alliance club. The principal made an unconventional decision in the choice of a faculty advisor for the club, which the high school had never had before.
Why are you Yeah.
In this relatively conservative city, Tim Walz, a geography teacher who was also
Okay, yeah. The other day my nose was stuffed, so I'm like, oh shit. Allergy season is coming back. I used to never have allergies at all. And then springtime, they just popped up out of nowhere. And then God damn it. See that's Nightbot, Grant. Nightbot's on your ass. Hold on. Uh Springtime they popped up out of nowhere, which is expected because there's pollen everywhere. But I'm not even gonna lie. The allergies going into the fall, oh, that's a different beast in and of itself. You know, Grant, you from Jamaica? Wagwan. All right, let's go, y'all.
also a football coach. Mr. Walz readily agreed, and the choice came as a relief to Mr. Rattan. So he was selected and agreed that he would help start this club with a kid who apparently, for whatever reason, people were chalking his driveway and smashing in his car because he might be gay. I don't know, doesn't pass the vibe check, but that's what they're saying is true. Okay, so there has been a person who is deeming themselves to be a whistleblower who has been going around to various people. It made its way to me as well, claiming that he was claiming that he's a student that was essentially groomed by Tim Walz and that he will be taking further action. He's been, and again, this could be a person who's just in the mix saying stuff, claiming.
Oh my God. We're like in this era where everybody has a microphone, and at the end of the day, now all of a sudden everybody's Diddy. All of a sudden, that Liam dude died. Oh, it was Diddy. Everything is Diddy now. All of a sudden, like it's like God damn. Oh, he's another Diddy. Everything is Diddified. Okay, new word, y'all. Y'all support the show. It's Player Talk Radio. I'm your gracious host. Make sure you look out for the cookout. Support the content, y'all. It's Player Talk.
That he was in some way abused by Tim Walz. And I think it's worth discussing because the rumor mill has gotten big enough. Again, I don't have any concrete proof. For me personally, I would need a person's name to verify that they actually lived to and went to the same school. He claims that he's going to be forthcoming with that. I do a lot of work with Ian Carroll. He is the TikToker, and he went to suss this out like even more. Like he went to fish out the details of this even more by contacting the whistleblower and had a 42-minute discussion with him on the phone, which he felt that the person who came forward was being entirely legitimate, as well as others in the movement.
All right, so it seems like if you're around Kamala, somebody about to dig into your shit, These people probably getting real history lessons on their own family. Your grandma was half Portuguese and Cherokee. It's like, really? God damn. You got people doing more research on other people's family than the person that presented the bullshit. All right, this is going bad, man. I don't know what the hell is going on. All right, hold on, yo. Let's get into this real quick. I was saying that this is on the cusp of pro-black America telling you that they not like us. And now everybody has to align themselves with Trump at this point because America has forced people to choose the lesser evil.
And has stepped forward, who I can verify to you knew Kamala's grandma Beryl. And she remembers her affectionately, by the way. Apparently, Grandma Beryl was a wonderful woman.
So, if y'all didn't catch the part where Candice did a bunch of research and found out, he's a moderator. Candice did a bunch of research and found out, Kamala was lying about her grandmother, right? Now, somebody, I guess she said on the last episode, somebody debunked it, her research. So now, yeah, I'm trying to get rid of them. Hold on. Let me get Nightbot. Hold on, let me put Nightbot in timeout again. Hold on, there's a lot of what is going on here? Okay. So yeah, so I guess she's going over that situation with Grandma Beryl, which is a Jamaican name like shit. Beryl. She's going over that situation, and I guess she about to double down on it right now. So Kamala never said nothing. The guy at Fox never asked her about her. So let's go.
She adored Kamala's grandma Beryl. It was just one minor detail that was off. You see, the Beryl that she knew?
So they said Beryl been passed away. Kamala didn't even get a chance to really meet her at all. But I guess whoever did their research said she passed away in 95. So that meant Kamala probably did meet her. Let's get it.
The one that Kamala presented in her book was not her, because the Beryl she knew was white. Yeah, let's get started. Welcome back to Candice.
Oh my God. So the the grandmother that she knew was white, but in the book it showed her a picture with the AI technology. They probably used AI technology on that. In the book it showed her with a black lady, but okay.
In this photo, I'm not thinking this is a very dark woman. I'm not thinking this is the mother of Donald Harris at all. Like, I know genetics can be funky, but I was going, this woman does not look like she owned and operated a store. There were so many things that were throwing me off. Even the whole story of the grandparents owning all of these stores. I'm going, what are you talking about? 1914 to 1938 in Jamaica, but we were just getting out of slave.
I'm confused. I don't know if Kamala was in Jamaica, Canada, India, Botswana at this point. Yeah, y'all support the show, y'all. We've been out for an hour and 25 minutes. We are definitely behind on support. I definitely need y'all support. All my moderators, hit the like button. We are super behind on support, y'all. So I definitely need y'all help by supporting the show. I've been grinding and putting in that work, y'all. Definitely look out for the cookout. There is no player talk without you guys, all right? So I'm confused. You know, I'm confused at this point. So let's see what Candice can come up with, y'all.
Chains, and you're telling me like your family just became like so dominant and were running these dry goods stores, and this grandma had that. Something was off, okay? And what was off was just the photos they were presenting. These people were too black. And then once we started looking into it, the fact that her campaign just shut off the tap on speaking about her blackness. They just wanted to move on as if she had never said it. It was the entire...
Well, yeah, I mean, y'all digging into this woman's background. Y'all digging into this woman's background. And everybody around her, they done pulled up Obama's background again. And everybody's getting it back. They shit dug into. That's crazy. But okay, let's see what Candice got to say. Hold on. Shout outs to Bronze. Thank you, bro. Flat Power God starting off the support by dropping the huge $3 on the Cash App. Let's get it. Shout outs to Bronze. Thank you, bro, for supporting the show. Let's keep the support going. Let's go. He blew smoke out his mouth. Let's go.
Brand, remember, that's the pitch. She's going to be the first black female president of the United States. The media was trying to sell that, to force feed that to us. And I said, Black scientific theory says, no, this ain't your grandma. But I was receiving a ton of emails from people that were insisting that Beryl was Kamala's grandmother. Among the emails were a flurry of people suggesting...
I'm not going to lie. Every time you rise to prominence, it always be us. I know when Kamala saw Candice, it's like, and Candice was going all off in her background. I know Kamala was like, shit. Why it got to be Candice? Why it always be your own? You know, another black sister going in on another black sister. But guess what? Intellectually, Candice is on Kamala's level. Maybe even smarter. You know? Shout outs to Link in the building. Shout outs to Dima in the building. I know Kamala was mad as shit. Shit. What's going on, Boots? Let's go.
Suggesting that I speak to a woman known as Lady Colin Campbell. She also goes as Lady C. I'm familiar with her work. I've seen
the people in the White House don't engage. Don't engage.
her. She's written in the Daily Mail before, or has been written about in the Daily Mail. She's a British Jamaican author and a socialite who grew up in Jamaica, and she is deep on genealogy. She's written several books regarding the British royals. This woman likes history. She likes facts. And someone had sent me a clip of her from her YouTube channel during which she was fielding questions and people were asking her to look into my research into Kamala Harris. And she said, rather offhandedly, that she had asked around and that she had a friend that was on the island who had confirmed to her that Beryl was, in fact, Kamala's grandmother, seemingly putting to rest all of my theories. But I remained completely undeterred, and I just ignored it. Lady C said that she was hoping to host that friend on her podcast in the future, and that the woman would spill all of the tea on how she knew Kamala's grandmother, Beryl. So I just waited. I waited for the future to arrive, and guess what? The future has arrived. And...
okay, now... we're going to see if she really lied about her grandmammy. I'm going to have to clip myself. Kamala was like, shit.
As promised, Lady C hosted Dorothy, that's the woman's name. Dorothy, the woman who knew Grandma Beryl. And I will tell you, the conversation did not go as Lady C expected. I think primarily because people who did not watch every episode of this series into Kamala were not quite understanding what we were uncovering. There were all of these.
I don't think Kamala would ever sit down with Candice. I don't think Kamala would ever sit down with Candice. It would be worse than Brett Baer.
Thank you for joining us. Harris.
Thank you for having me, Brad.
Thank you.
We'll see how this goes for you.
Mrs. Harris, how many people do you believe have crossed the border since... Miss Harris. Kamala, please. Mrs. Vice President, it's a simple question.
I'm speaking. Excuse me, I'm speaking.
I apologize.
Oh. That shit never gets old.
General Kellogg, they are always so invaluable. Well, Kamala's in trouble, and she's turning to Lizzo. That's Lizzo. Next.
Yeah, Lizzo's big ass. I forgot. Lizzo came down from Big Bakistan, and she kind of said something similar to what. She kind of said something similar to what Trump said. That's gonna be like Detroit. Nobody got mad at Lizzo. Okay.
Response videos. I was going, you clearly did not watch everything that we're doing. We never said that Beryl did not exist. We always believed that Beryl existed. We simply did not believe that the woman that was presented in Kamala's book was her. We believed that this was a case of stolen identity. Essentially, there was a Beryl, but the woman that was being pictured was not the grandma, and they were playing funny business like commies do, switching identities. And it was strange that even though Kamala presented a picture of Grandma Beryl in the book, she didn't mention her at all in the book. What's up with that? You're just trying to blackify yourself.
Shout out
Lady C likes research. Lady C was good on her word. She hosted Dorothy. So let's watch the first part of their conversation. This is Dorothy, again, the Jamaican woman who grew up and knew Grandma Beryl, Miss Beryl, personally. Take a listen.
Greetings from Castle Goring, from Mickey, Aurora, and from me. We have a special guest with us today, Dorothy Otti, who is an old friend of mine. She's Jamaican.
I'm sorry, white Jamaicans got a funny accent, y'all. It's just funny.
Used to know Miss Beryl very well. They grew up in the same village.
Well, I grew up in the village where Miss Beryl lived. She was a lot older than me, of course. And Miss Beryl was the grandmother of Vice President Kamala Harris.
Yes.
Now, going into Kamala's background, I know Kamala's like, man, who the fuck is this? Who are these people? Who the hell is this? They always find somebody. I knew you when you were a little girl. Nigga, I don't know you though. I was your neighbor. Okay, like what the fuck?
And she was just the most delightful lady. I have such fond memories of her. Excuse me. So there's a sweet that you have in Jamaica as a child, or grown-ups eat the sweet that's made from coconuts and caramelized sugar, and it's called
they go coconuts.
Buster. Have you ever had?
Darling, in my day it was called Bustamante Backbone.
Okay, so it was called a Buster. And Miss Beryl had a shop. And in the mornings, my Uncle Cecil would take me by the hand. We'd go up the road for a walk. And on the way, everyone that goes past, it would be, good morning, Mas Cecil. And how are you, Miss Dar? And by the time we got to Miss Beryl's shop, she would either offer me a Buster or this other delicious sweet called a Paradise Plum.
Yes, I remember Paradise.
Yeah, but Miss Beryl, she was just so lovely.
You gotta hang around the older Jamaicans, the grandma class, because I swear they'll get you. Look, them old ladies, they stay packing rum cake out there. They'll get you drunk. They stay packing rum cake out there, y'all. So you gotta hang around the old ladies in Jamaica.
we would have these conversations as a little girl whenever I went past with Uncle Cecil, and it was always, how are you doing with your books? Are you reading? Are you learning your times table? Of course, she was a businesswoman, so she was very good at things like mathematics, of course. And she was, looking back now, you could see she was a trailblazer, because the shop that she had, she actually built it herself. And so we lived in a village, and her shop was the only, what you would call an upstairs, downstairs house. All the other houses were like bungalows on one level with gardens and stuff. I remember in our garden, we had gladiolas.
Okay, a couple of things flagged to me as interesting there. So she was really good at mathematics. Okay, so we're talking about a Black person. Again, this would not have been more than a couple of decades removed from slavery. And she was really good at mathematics, extremely well-read, owned and operated a shop, and had the biggest house. What are we talking about? This doesn't feel like the correct kind of a Black story that I'm used to. A couple of generations ago, you go back, most Black people have my grandparents' sharecropping farm. Who knows? I'm like, okay. Very clearly, though, we know she's telling the truth right away, because this is a good fact check against what Donald Terrace wrote when he wrote a story about their Jamaican heritage for Jamaican Online Global. And he talked about those bustas. He talked about him and his sister Enid and how they loved the bustas. I think he said it was around Easter time. So everything she's saying sounds correct. But it was this next part, that instantly let me know that this woman was the real deal.
All right.
Because she presents a detail, something that I know to be a fact that I had not ever presented to the public. Remember when I told you that I got on the phone with a family member of Kamala Harris? And that family member told me that Donald Harris had two siblings, Enid Harris, who I have spoken to you guys about, and another sibling who I had never mentioned. It was Beryl's son, and his name was Kenneth. And this woman starts speaking about the Kenneth that I had never mentioned, who would be Donald Harris's brother. Take a listen.
Was it a village or was it a hamlet? How many people would have been in it? How many houses? How many residents?
So at one time, everyone that lived there, was a village. There was probably about 80 or 90 people. But at one time, everyone that lived there was a relative of mine.
Really?
Yes.
What about Miss Beryl?
So this would have been before people such as Miss Beryl moved there. But before,
yeah, like she on the phone with these people, family and shit. They probably haven't heard of Kamala in like in decades. And that's crazy how they wheeled out Obama for us. But Indian people ain't voting for Kamala. They ain't without him for no Indian people. Getting that body count down. See what I'm saying? Shout outs to everybody here. Shout outs to all the mods. I need you guys to hit the like button and support the show. Player Talk Radio. Hit the like button, y'all, and support the stream, please. So she on the phone with the fam wham. That's scary as shit. I know Kamala was like, shit. I'm telling you, man. It always be your type, y'all. Be your own people.
Before that, everyone who lived there, and even as a child growing up, most of the residents were connected in some way on my father's side, my grandfather's side, where they.
I got a joke for y'all. What do you call a white person that speaks patois? That's from Jamaica. What do you call a white person that speaks patois? That's from Jamaica. British. Let's go.
They were all related. But Miss Beryl, my darling, also had a son. He was called Kenneth. And Kenneth had a motorbike. the equivalent of what we would now call a Harley Davidson. And of course, so at the time, I would have been no more than 4 or 5. I'm not interested in what make your bike is. And he would put me on the front of the bike, you know, whenever I came past with Uncle Cecil, and I would sit there and he would switch the engine on. And of course, looking back now, I realized the bike never moved, but he just held on to me, and I thought I was riding a bike, and I grew up absolutely loving motorbikes. He was very handsome.
Oh, Beryl must have had some money. Her son has the equivalent of a Harley Davidson. He was very handsome. He's got riding around on his motorbike. What are we talking about here? Like I said, this is when I knew that this woman was dialed in, because I had never spoken about Kenneth publicly, not for any particular reason. I just literally hadn't gotten around to it, as I've been collecting all of this evidence to present to the public on Kamala's family and looking into Enid and looking into Kenneth. So very interesting. Again, sounds like this Beryl had a lot of money. It's just not giving the person that is pictured in Kamala's book. Now, of course, naturally, Kamala Harris then comes up in this conversation. And Dorothy keeps this same positive energy. She's very positive, right? She has a spirit about her. She has this fond memory. Delightful. She's delightful in her approach about Beryl. And she's delightful in her approach about Kamala and Kamala's features. She really likes Kamala's facial features. I'll tell you why. Take a listen.
And Miss Beryl, by the way, I see Vice President Harris on the box. And I sit up straight and I think, my God, she looks so much like Miss Beryl. Her facial features, the only thing is Miss Beryl was much smaller in stature, but
well, okay, if Miss Beryl, because Kamala is very fair-skinned.
Right.
Was Beryl fair-skinned?
Yes, she was.
She was?
She was. She was fair-skinned.
She was? Okay.
Yes, she was very fair-skinned.
Oh.
With black hair.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
So she was so fair-skinned that now that I'm older and I can spot people by their skin coloring, etc., for me, I would say there was something Irish there.
Yeah, they don't use the term light skin, y'all. They use fair skin. It's fair, like she can pass. You understand what I'm saying? She can pass. That's what that's for. All right. So, Jamaica also uses like a lot of terminology, you know, that the supremacists would use. So,
how interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say somewhere along the line she would have had ancestors that were Irish. Yes.
Actually, can I show you a photograph?
Of course.
Of an old lady.
Yes.
And some people speculate that this is
old lady talk. Like,
right.
We haven't heard this in America for a long time.
That's okay.
I am so untechnological. Okay. It's just pathetic. Yeah. There we go. Oh.
Okay. Nah, that's not Miss Beryl.
That's not Miss Beryl.
That's definitely not Miss Beryl.
Okay.
That's not Miss Beryl.
So
and
that means you have to just show.
Yeah.
So
that is not Miss Beryl.
That's not Miss Beryl.
Definitely not Miss Beryl.
Okay.
And I know what she looks like. I couldn't have been in a dream, and she definitely did not look like that.
There's another person, but could that be Miss Beryl?
No, that's not Miss Beryl. That's not Miss Beryl either.
Okay.
Don't know who that is.
Okay.
That's not Miss Beryl. That ain't Miss Beryl. You know, as you were describing the fair skin and looking like Kamala, I was thinking this can't be the Miss Beryl grandma that's in Kamala's book. And clearly you see Lady C's going, wait, fair skin? What? Maybe is this? Nope, that's not Miss Beryl. I didn't dream. That's not Miss Beryl. Yeah, that sounds about right. You're saying Irish, and that's funny because Judge Joe Brown had a very distinct memory that Donald Harris told him that he was Irish and Hindu. And things are starting to add up, not in Kamala Harris's favor. And I don't know what to say here, ladies and gentlemen, other than I am truly, untypically speechless. I don't think I possess within me the adequate vocabulary to discuss my distaste for a woman who borrowed a black person for her.
Damn, she said she borrowed her. Hey, let me use your blackness real quick. Let me use your blackness real quick. Y'all hit the like button, support the show. Damn. What are y'all thoughts? Ooh, scandalous. You see this shit, Bronze? Ooh, scandalous. What are y'all thoughts? Y'all support the show, y'all. Hopefully y'all subscribe before y'all hit that poll. Ooh, scandalous. $121 votes on the poll. Oh, that number done jumped. 40% of y'all now said that Kamala's lying about her grandma and lineage. 9% says no, she's been truthful and on point. 17% says she didn't grow. Oh shit, I forgot the dash. She didn't grow up middle class. 34% said she be drunk off box wine. Almost up there with the she lied about her grandma and lineage. Scandalous.
Autobiography so that she could secure the black vote.
Dang.
Do you understand how fundamentally racist that is?
That's a different type of racism.
Do you understand how despicable that is? I mean, you have to be the...
Right, Dean. We didn't see that coming. We don't think the government would lie to us. Talked about it on the last show, y'all. The government needs to lie to you. Safely. Why? Because a lot of people can't handle information. And again, no one needs to brainwash you. You're going to brainwash yourself. Ain't nobody about to put in their time and energy brainwashing you. Motherfuckers will brainwash themselves. If you're smart, you might need to be brainwashed, but if there's more brainwashed people around you, you're going to get drowned out. Ask me how I know. It's called a popularity contest. It's hard for me to get support. I get on here and get y'all the game and the truth every day. Just about. Y'all should have been around for the Manosphere days. I could have proved my point even more. And my point's getting proven every day. Just about. It's player talk. Let's get it.
Worst kind of political vermin to borrow a black person to put in your book to present to the public as your grandma, who definitively was not your white Irish grandma. Okay, I don't have the word. I need someone to throw me a thesaurus so I can find it. I need to expand my vocabulary to be able to legitimately express my disgust for Kamala Harris and my now
the majority of the U.S. is not brainwashed. They don't need to be brainwashed. Brainwashed from what? They don't need to be brainwashed. This is how Americans are. They don't need to be brainwashed. This is how we are. We want to be willingly ignorant. We don't give a fuck about other shit. America is an isolated incident. We don't care about a lot of shit. Oh, and then we really start putting our nose in the air once we realize other places and people in the world want to be like us. We're living in a day and age right now where we got to convince ourselves America's where it's at. Let's go.
General disgust for any person who supports this woman or from here on out purports that she
I'll say that respectfully
is the first black anything. Okay. She is beyond despicable. This woman has no soul. You have to have no soul to do that. And if my instincts are correct, the person that she is showing is indeed someone she knows and is likely, like I said from the very beginning, the help. The help who would have taken on the name of the people who they worked for. It's very common. This is why you talk about having slave names. You take on the last name, the first name. When we saw that woman who was listed looking for a housekeeper position that said Beryl or Chrissy, it is my suspicion that this was the help, meaning this was likely the woman that was working for the wealthy Miss Beryl who was buying her children Harley Davidsons. I mean, it's just, this is unbelievable. This should end her chances at the White House. If we have any sort of moral sensibility in this country, you would never allow a person like this to assume office because
now white people don't care about this shit. They sit back and they're laughing. And I don't blame them because it is kind of it's actually good comedy. It's hilarious. But it's black people. Like, honestly, I'm not even gonna lie. I mean, if you put it together, it's a very good joke. You have Obama, who's they would call him a tether, trying to convince y'all and have damn near convinced a lot of people because it worked to vote for an Indian lady. Then she's pretending to be black. This is good internet right here, and the jokes write itself. What's going on, Andre?
Thank you for having me, Brad.
Thank you.
We'll see how this goes for you.
Mrs. Harris, how many people do you believe have crossed the borders? Miss Harris. Kamala, please. Mrs. Vice President, it's a simple question.
I'm speaking. Excuse me, I'm speaking.
I apologize. All right, well, I'm just going to say it. She destroyed him. Oh my gosh. Right? Oh golly, he's so embarrassed.
That's crazy, man. It's a good joke. It's a good joke. And I laugh at a lot of corny shit, so it's a good joke. That's always been black people's problem, too. Y'all niggas don't get white humor. White humor is funny as hell. You just got to get it. Yes, it's dry. It may come off as a bit unseasoned, but it's funny as hell. Now, you know, a lot of people are still mad at her about the hurricane. They're still mad at her about the hurricane. $750.
Yes, I need another 8 billion.
Of course, anything for you, alright?
Got her as the Monopoly
It
lady.
was the right thing to do.
You sure you don't want more? I've got more.
No, for now this is
I have a lot more.
No,
A lot more.
No, I'll be back. Hey. So, I'm kinda underwater. Is there any way you could help me and my family get out?
Oh, I'm poor. I'm so poor. I just couldn't possibly afford it. Dad, how are they gonna help us?
You're too poor?
In fact, if you could lend me some money, I was raised in a middle-class family.
You know what? I'll come back later. Hello, can I get some money for the war with Iran?
Can you? He wants to know if he can have the money. Boom!
Hey, sorry, I forgot to grab my keys. Hold on a second. Wait, were you just... Who was that?
Who? Were they stealing my small pittance? Can you spare 2 dimes, please?
Me? You're blind now? Okay, I'm gonna see if there's someone who can help my family.
Arrest anyone who tries to help his family.
Kamala, hey, I have those millions of immigrants you wanted everywhere. You know this wasn't cheap. We had to.
Nothing going on here.
Shut the f up.
Oh, thank goodness. Come on out. Come on out. Come on out. Come on in. Come here. Come on out. Here, boy. Come here. Come here. Come here. To the swing states. Come on. Come here.
Here, bro.
Shoot. There's plenty more where that came from. I'm out of money for real this time.
Oh, come on. You know what? You treating us this way is exactly why we voted for Trump in 2020.
No. You voting for Trump in 2020 is exactly why I'm treating you this way.
Yo. That's funny as hell. I'm telling you, man, that, you know, remember when you used to read like the comic books? And the comic books, they had some truth in it. It's like, dang, the comic, even though some of it, a lot of it's satire, the comic is telling more truth than the politician. Irony can always get caught in comedy. Y'all support the show, y'all. All right, I guess I'm not doing a good job. Let's go.
If she is willing to lie like this, if she is willing to, this is essentially the worst kind of blackface. Okay, this is what you are seeing now. Kamala Harris is in fact a minstrel show. She said,
well, I mean, Candice, don't ride too far for Kamala because the same black people will call you a divester. But then again, Kamala divested. See, so like I said, they're kind of more in the same boat than you think. Neck and neck. What's going on, Guido? Let's go. And the neck, no pun intended on the neck.
I'm running for president. Okay, what am I gonna do? I'm just gonna blackify myself. Fake aunties, fake uncle photos. Oh, I actually just called them. What is she gonna say to this? Is she gonna come out now and say, oh, when I said Grandma Beryl, I meant like that's just what we called her affectionately, Grandma Beryl, as she was doing our laundry and picking up after us. We called her what is she going to say that is possibly going to be accepted? And will the press do their job now? Stop pretending this is a conspiracy and recognize that this woman put on blackface because she wants to win the election.
That's the problem. Black people are the last people to get the joke. The government don't care. As a matter of fact, the less black, the better. What is Kamala supposed to do? Come march with us? Sing They Not Like Us, even though she likes that song, but had to tone it down a little bit. Even Kendrick Lamar stopped really co-signing. He picked up on the joke. All right, let's go.
Megan Thee Stallion, I'm calling you every person who twerked, danced, applauded, said to the public, this is a black woman. It is now incumbent upon you to take a step back, examine what we have revealed, and to take it back.
They don't even like you, Candice. You know, Candice, she can't sit at the table with every single sister. Candice would get bullied. And then wait till they get to, well, how pro-black can you be? Did you marry a foundational black man? We don't even know if Candice is foundational black. I know she hung out with Tariq for a minute, but I don't know. These are their rules, y'all. My bad. Let's get it.
Take everything you said back about this woman. Apologize for platforming her, for believing this. It's fine. I'll accept the apology, but keep the exact same energy. Oh, she's black. Okay. Now that you know that she's not, you should be angry and you should present these facts to the public and to your followers and to your fan base.
Why?
Like I said, I am shocked. I'm not shocked, but I am shocked. You know what I'm saying? Like, I am not surprised.
I'm not going to say she's going to get, like, woman handled. Because she may gain their respect. You know what I'm saying? Because you know, women respect a smart mouth a little bit. You know? And Candice got a smart mouth. You did? God damn it. Here I go again. No pun intended. All right, let's go.
It was inevitable. I was never going to let go. Like, I pretty much knew that I was on the right track. Her silence about the matter was deafening. The removal of everything seemed very suspicious. No longer speaking about her blackness seemed very suspicious. Now she's too highbrow. I'm not even going to address. You know why you're not going to address it? Because you're not black. You are not black. You never have been black.
How can she black?
Day in your life. You truly disgust me. I want you to know that you are filth. Kamala Harris is filth. And Lady C was similarly shocked, gobsmacked, as she put it. Take a listen.
And gobsmacked. Absolutely gobsmacked. And it then begs the question, did she seriously think she was going to be able to get away with this?
She did.
I mean, I know Candice Owens has been going hell for leather.
Oh, shit. Her old ass know about Candice. Damn. Well, I mean, yeah, everybody's watching this, I guess. I mean, then you do know her. All right, I guess.
Yeah. I ain't gonna lie, I'm getting cooked.
That's Kamala right there. Dang, that's fucked up. Your family not even on code. Did she think she can get away with this? Damn. What's going on, Araby? Y'all hit the like button and support the show, y'all. Damn. All right, let's see.
On this. and Candice Owens is clearly black. So this is not about anti-blackness, because as you could see, Dorothy is not white. So, I mean, I'm just stunned that any ambitious politician would present as a grandparent of hers, and Kamala Harris is very fair-skinned. Whether she calls herself black or brown, she's still fair-skinned. But she definitely has black blood. So to that extent, it's not anything artificial. What does seem to be extraordinary is the creation of a black grandmother when her grandmother was
Get it out, Granny.
Of color, but wasn't black. And she just did she get somebody off the street and pop them in the photograph? Was it a helper? Who was this woman? I mean, it boggles the
Who is this woman?
Imagination.
Don't you worry. Leave it with me, Lady C. From one Lady C to another, I'm going to get to the bottom of who that woman is in the picture, and I'm going to get to the bottom of who the Irish Beryl actually...
God, it was artificial. It's AI. Candice should just come out. Not Candice. Kamala should just come out and said it was AI. She didn't sign off on the book. She didn't know that picture was in there, and it was AI. Then she should giggle, laugh, and say fake news. And it'll all go away. Well, know why? People these days don't care if you scam. A lot of people aspire to be scammers. They expect to be scammed by politics. Let's go.
Really is, because here's what happens now. Blood is in the water, my friends. Okay. If you watch the full interview, you should cut over to Lady C's YouTube channel and watch the entire thing. That woman gave a ton of accidental clues about the Irish Beryl that we are now looking for. She excelled at mathematics. She built a home. She resembles Kamala Harris. She had black hair.
Kamala,
she
you need to do an interview with Candice. She
specialized in making bustas. Now we can refocus our attention and look for the true Beryl, the white-looking Beryl, and we are going to be able to find that person. I sense it. Now, like I said, there is way too much information.
Well, hold on. Let me get Nightbot off of Alma's ass. God damn. Now, Kamala probably does have a barrel of wine. I don't think at this point she ever gonna do a interview with Candice. I think Candice is doing too much. I don't know why Candice is going in on her like this, but this is crazy.
Information out there, and we need to put tremendous amounts of pressure for Kamala Harris to respond, because, like I said, you have to be borderline psychopathic to do what she did. Do you understand? Like, just take a pause here and recognize how demented you have to be, okay, to approve the printing of a book with a photo featuring a photo of who you purport is your grandma.
Brought him up earlier, Alma.
You standing next to a woman who was likely cleaning your dirty underwear. Okay, likely. That's what I think. I feel it in my soul. But that's who these women were that were pictured in here. This woman doesn't recognize Iris. Grandma Iris was the second photo she showed. We zoomed in on it. She doesn't recognize anyone. Dorothy's going, I don't know who these people are. Okay, you have to be utterly demented, hell-bent on power. You will stop at nothing to achieve power if you have no shame. If you have no shame, knowing that you come from a long line of slave owners that you would then appropriate the identity of a real Black woman so that you can what? Re-enslave Black people in America today. That's exactly why she's doing it. She is
Damn. So she said that she wants to re-enslave the Black people of America today. Imagine Kamala being the person that she told you Trump was. Imagine that. Ooh, scandalous.
Of course, anything for you, alright?
It was the right thing to do.
You sure you don't want more? I've got more.
No, for now this is
I mean, I have a lot more. A lot more.
No, I'll be back.
Hey. So, I'm kinda underwater. Is there any way you could help me and my family get out?
Oh, I'm poor. I'm so poor. I just couldn't possibly afford it. Dad,
Oh, the Walz impression is funny.
You're too poor?
in fact, if you could lend me some money, I was raised in a middle-class family.
You know what? I'll come back later. Hello. Can I get some money for the war with Iran?
Can you? He wants to know if he can have money. Boom!
Hey, sorry, I grab my keys. Hold on a second. Wait, were you just... Who was that?
Who? Were they stealing my small pittance? Can you spare 2 dimes, please?
Me? You're blind now? Okay, I'm gonna see if there's someone who can help my family.
Arrest anyone who tries to help his family.
Kamala, hey, I have those millions of immigrants you wanted everywhere. You know, this wasn't cheap. We had to...
Nothing going on here.
Oh, man.
Oh, thank goodness. Come on out. Come on out. Come on out. Come on in. Come here.
Oh, that's
Come on
like a
out.
paper trail.
Here, boy. Come here. Come here. Come here. To the swing states. Come on. Come here.
Here, bro.
Shoot. There's plenty more where that came from. I'm out of money for real this time.
Oh, come on. You know what? You treating us this way is exactly why we voted for Trump in 2020.
No. You voting for Trump in 2020 is exactly why I'm treating you this way.
That's crazy. Candice making a goddamn example out of Kamala.
Okay. Like I said, this is now a beginning. We get to refocus our attentions. I have a ton of suspicions. I truly believe that I was on the right track when I examined the same thing for Christiana Brown. I believe they're lying about who Christiana Brown is. And I'm going to find both of these women. What do we have? 18, 19 days until the election. I'm not letting go, guys. I am just... Email me if you find any information, info@CandiceOwens.com. You know where we will be. This woman is not going to get away with this. I'm disgusted. All right, guys, also reminding you about preborn because Kamala Harris is the first vice presidential candidate to ever visit an abortion facility. And Tim Walz supported a bill in his home state which legalized the denial of life-saving medical care to infants born alive after botched abortions. The media has dubbed this the abortion election. We have to take a stance against this evil. When you join forces with Preborn, the largest pro-life organization in the nation, you are protecting the greatest victims in our society, babies in their mother's womb. Preborn's network of clinics are positioned in the highest abortion areas in the nation, and they have rescued over 300,000 babies. When a woman considering an abortion searches to end her baby's life, Preborn is there. Preborn gives these women in need a free ultrasound. The power of hearing a heartbeat on the ultrasound combined with God's love doubles a baby's chance at life. One ultrasound costs just $28, and up to 5 ultrasounds are $140. Any gift will help their cause, and all gifts are tax deductible. To donate securely, just dial pound 250 and say the key.
Candice be getting sponsored, man.
I will not tolerate this, because I think too many of you are supporting this woman, and you are supporting her because you believe she is Black, and now you need to wake up to the fact that this woman's family enslaved Black people, and they are
went to an unalived clinic
trying to re-enslave Black people again, and they have absolutely, I mean, you just have to be, what kind of a villain? What kind of a villain does what she did? I just cannot get over this. A super villain would do this, would put a Black woman who was likely laundering your clothes in your book and calling her your grandma, and then not speaking about your real rich Irish grandma and the Harley Davidson uncle that you have, okay? Harley Davidson possessing uncle. Anyways, back to this interview. Brett Baer did a phenomenal job. She tried.
All right, this is what I wanted to see. I wanted to see what Candice thinks about Fox 5 and Brett Baer. All right.
To filibuster the entire conversation, just keep speaking. It's a strategy that politicians do.
See, I called it out. And see, it's a joy that y'all know, and y'all get the news over here at Player Talk Radio. So now you get to look, when you start throughout the rest of the day, when you start seeing, hold on, what the hell is Nightbot doing? Hold on, god damn it, Nightbot. My Nightbot is racist. Y'all better thank a union. He timing everybody out. Y'all gotta support the show, y'all supporting to get Nightbot off my ass fun, y'all. I can't find him. He don't show up on StreamYard the whole time. He's very sneaky. He's the sneakiest employee I have. Now, who did Nightbot time out? I can't see. What the fuck is Nightbot doing? What's going on, underrated? What is Nightbot doing? I can't see. Hold on, shit. I gotta switch tabs. God damn it. Y'all hit the like button, support the show. You better thank a union member. Let's go. Let's Player Talk.
If you ask them one question, they'll take 10 minutes to answer because they don't want you to answer.
Y'all got to make sure y'all take heed to the game I give y'all, because now y'all get to watch content with a brand new set of eyes. That'll give you the game. Let's go.
They don't want you to enter in a follow-up question or to call them out on their BS. And I just want to show this clip of Brett asking the question that's on a lot of people's mind. She keeps saying what she's going to do when she's in office. And the thing is Kamala Harris is in office right now. So how can you do that? It's incredible to me. It's that people are falling for this. Like, I'm going to do this when I get... You're in office right now. Take it away, Brett Baer.
More than 70% of people tell the country is on the wrong track. They say the country is on...
Well, we saw the Brett Baer interview. We saw the Brett Baer interview. This is what happened.
Ms. Harris, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Brad.
Thank you.
We'll see how this goes for you.
Mrs. Harris, how many people do you believe have crossed the borders? Miss Harris. Kamala, please. Mrs. Vice President, it's a simple question.
I'm speaking. Excuse me, I'm speaking.
I apologize.
I'm mad she got an ejector seat, though. Yeah, y'all better thank a union member. Y'all please hit the like button and support the show, y'all.
On the wrong track. If it's on the wrong track, That track follows 3.5 years of you being vice president and President Biden being president. That is what they're saying, 79% of them. Why are they saying that? If you're turning the page, you've been in office for 3.5 years.
Right, Gail.
And Donald Trump has been running for office.
But you've been the person holding the office.
Come on.
Madam
You
Vice
and I
President.
both know what I'm talking about. You and I both know what I'm talking about.
I actually don't. What are you talking about?
What I'm talking about is that over the last decade,
Oh man.
people have become, but listen, over the last decade, it is clear to me, and certainly the Republicans who are on stage with me, the former chief of staff to the president, Donald Trump, former defense secretaries, national security advisor, and his vice president, one, that he is unfit to serve, that he is unstable, that he is dangerous, and that people are exhausted with someone who professes to be a leader who spends full time demeaning and engaging in personal grievances and it being about him instead of the American people. People are tired of that.
If that's the case, why is half the country supporting him? Why is he beating you in a lot of swing states? Why, if he's as bad as you say, that half of this country is now supporting this person who could be the 47th president of the United States? Why is that happening?
This is an election for president of the United States. It's not supposed to be easy.
It's just incredible. He asks her a very valid question. You are in office right now, okay? How is it plausible that you can come out here and you can say all the things that you are going to do? If you could do those things, why aren't you doing them right now? Why haven't you and Biden done them over the last 4 years? And rather than answering that question, she offers up that, well, Trump has been running. What does that have to do with anything? Nothing. It's just mumbo jumbo, keep talking, change the topic, and attack Trump, right? That is the strategy. What really matters is that people who are around Trump say that he's unstable. And people are saying that they don't like Trump and Trump is a scary dictator. I mean, they're literally going back and trying to run the same exact playbook that they ran when Trump first was running in 2015. And by the way, that worked in 2015 because Trump was an unknown, right? And he's this guy, he's boisterous, he's a New Yorker, he's talking like a blue collar worker. And so they were kind of able to create this unknown monster. And you gets into office, he's going to do this. And Black people responded to that and were fearful of Trump.
But the funny part is that he's a known monster. We had him before. We know what a presidency under Trump looks like. So they call the term for it, and shout outs to Jay for getting me hip to this term, TDS, Trump Derangement Syndrome.
But Trump has now already been president for 4 years. And people are aware that they were living better under Donald J. Trump, okay? You can't just tell people not to believe their own eyes, right? They're aware that after 4 years of Trump in office, far from what the Democrats told them, they weren't put into slave chains. They weren't put back onto slave ships. If they had been, Kamala's family would have been happy about it. Money would have been coming back in for Kamala's family, right? And so it's just amazing that they think that they're...
Why Candice gotta be so... hold on, y'all. Okay. Why Candice gotta be so personal? Shit.
Going to be able to rinse that very recent history from everybody's memory. It's not going to work. And I'm so happy that Kamala kept implying and outright saying that, Donald...
She'll never talk to you at this point. Kamala, you on Kamala's shit list, Candice.
Trump was mentally unstable. And I'm so happy that Brett then took that opportunity to really speak to her about mental health in a way that hits home. Take a listen.
He's unstable. He is unstable, Brett.
He's not well. You say he's mentally not stable?
He's not stable.
Let me ask you this. You told many interviewers that Joe Biden was on his game, that ran around circles on his staff.
And she thinks Joe Biden is stable. I wonder when Xana will find out, or Zan or Zan Hang. I wonder when you will find out that you're. It's 2024, y'all. I'm not even gonna get into it. It's 2024, y'all, and there's still people that yell at the TV. It just moved to their phone. I don't think Hang realizes that I'm not Candice Owens. Anyway.
When did you first notice that President Biden's mental faculties appeared diminished?
Joe Biden.
And that's funny as hell that he asked her about Biden, because it's like, oh, so you think Biden is stable? Okay.
I have watched from the Oval Office to the Situation Room, and he has the judgment and the experience to do exactly what he has done in making very important decisions on behalf of the American people.
There were no concerns raised.
Brett, Joe Biden is not on the ballot.
I understand.
And Donald Trump.
But
is,
you talked about it.
And Donald Trump
after George Clooney said within a few minutes of talking to President Biden at a fundraiser that he thought this was not the same Joe Biden that we saw on the debate stage.
Donald Trump is on the ballot.
I understand. You met with him at least once a week for 3.5 years. You didn't have any concerns?
I think the American people have a concern about Donald Trump, which is why the people who know him best, including leaders of our national security community, have all spoken out. Even people who worked for him in the Oval Office, worked with him in the Situation Room, and have said he is unfit and dangerous and should never be president of the United States again, including his former vice president, which is why the job was open for him to choose another.
Yeah, I saw that the other day. I was like, shit. Mike Pence even went at Trump. I said, damn, that nigga don't talk. He don't say shit. I thought he was an android. Mike Pence even went at Trump. My bad, y'all. I have a racist Nightbot. Give me 1 second.
Another running mate. So that is a fact. That is a fact.
I'll tell you what a fact is. Her follow-up book to The Truths We Hold better be called The Mother Effing Audacity. Like a follow-up to Barack Obama's The Audacity of Hope or Change, whatever it was, because she does have some audacity to sit up there and talk about the mental faculties of Donald Trump and still not have the courage to admit what everyone admits now, left and right, that clearly Joe Biden was in office and was in a steep mental decline. Okay, this man could not put together a sentence, and she's still looking you in the face, looking all us in the face, pretending that just wasn't real. No, he was always sharp. He was always on it. And the real issue, the real mental instability that we should be discussing is Donald Trump. This woman
Could it be whole time that Kamala is slow and she thinks Biden is regular? Let me stop.
Lies and feels nothing. Okay, this is why it's like she has to be a child of Satan. It's the only way this works. To feel nothing when you lie like that, you know, to not have just a little bit of shame. Even if she had answered and said, listen, there's a lot that we could say about Joe Biden's mental health. I don't think this is the appropriate time to do it because I want to keep the focus on the election. That would have been a more meaningful and honest response than saying...
Damn, Candice is all over this woman like sprinkles on ice cream. God damn. Shit.
That Joe Biden was just phenomenal, on his game, knew exactly what he was doing. Like I said, she lies like a woman who would have no shame inserting a fake black grandma in her book, which is what she has done. She has put a fake black woman in her book and presented her as her grandmother. I mean, this black woman exists. Like Lady C said, we got to figure out who she is now. But this ain't her grandma.
Yeah, Candice is one of those girls you got to send to law school. Yeah, go argue with them niggas, man. Candice is one of them girls that if you get with her, you got to pick up a hobby where you could just be alone in your man cave or somewhere. You get with Candice, all of a sudden you want to start golfing and shit. You know what? I'm going to just pick up golf so I can be somewhere boring. So you can't argue with Candice. She going to get whatever the hell she wants. God damn. She up here modifying Kamala's response and shit. Shit. I'm thinking like, damn, that would have been a better response. Okay.
Okay. And nothing she is saying to Bret Baier is honest. Nothing she is saying is true. And she just accepts that the media is going to walk her into office no matter what. Because let me be very clear. You have an entire mainstream media apparatus, billions, maybe even trillions of dollars. And you're telling me I'm the one that uncovered this? Me? And my little YouTube channel? I got a team of 4 people on this podcast. You're telling me we were the ones that were able to uncover this? What is the job of the mainstream media? To lie to you and to protect the state.
You know what, though? I kind of know where Candice is coming from. Because think about it like this, y'all. If Candice was to run for office, she would have to use all that brain power. She would have to use all of that brain power because they would not take it easy on her. She might be thinking about running for office. That's why. Meanwhile, they're just letting Kamala skate. They're letting Kamala skate. Kamala didn't have to display this much brain power.
Okay? They are an extension of the CIA. They are
trying to laugh her way into the White House.
Not the fourth estate. They are the estate. Okay? Their job is to gaslight you, to use websites like Snopes to make you think everything is a conspiracy until it's unavoidable and it's true. And you know what happens next? They're not going to talk about Beryl. They're not going to talk about Kamala, but they're just going to move on. But I'll tell you what they won't do. They better not ever call this woman the first Black president of the United States ever again in their lives. If they do, we ride at dawn. Okay? I should show you this quickly. Bret spoke about the interview and what was going on behind the scenes with Kamala's team. Take a listen.
Dana, you've been on the other side. You've been on the rapper as a press secretary interviewing a president. And, you know, I'm talking like 4 people waving their hands like it's got to stop. So, Martha, final. Yeah, I had to dismount there at the end. There's so many things, and she maybe should do more of these.
Madam Vice President,
And
they're giving me a hard rap
Well,
here.
I thank you for the time.
I thank you for the time.
It's good to meet you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Unsurprisingly, because she is completely being managed. Everything that is happening, like I said, they have decided she is going to be the president in the same way that they decided that Obama was going to be the president. Presidents around the world are being selected, likely in boardrooms, and then the media is being instructed to defend them no matter what. This is across the board on matters of everything, whether it's war, you can see this sort of money, and that's what I truly believe runs everything is the military-industrial complex, and whatever their plans are and whatever candidate will allow them to fulfill their express goals. That is really what the CIA and the Mossad are, right? They are just a military-industrial complex, and we are none the wiser because everybody in media is a fraud. Virtually everyone in media is a fraud, and they stand by idly, acting like cowards without having the faith or the courage to stand up and say enough is enough. Like they have no investment in the future, no true belief in God.
And that's crazy. You know, I would think that I would never think that I got you, Star P. I gotta send it to you on the back end. I don't want people taking. Never mind. I got you, bro. People been copying me like shit. You can copy me. It's other people. I would never think it would be divestor on divestor crime, man. Y'all are cold blooded. You know, divestor on divestor crime is crazy. You know, divestor on divestor crime is wild. But listen, y'all. I wanted to keep the show going. We definitely needed more support. We are behind on support, so these shows are going to start to dwindle a little bit, all right? But listen, thank you everybody that hit the like button. Thank you everybody that has supported today's show. Good morning, everybody. If you're listening to this on the replay, make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. Let's get to 4,000. We almost there. It's Player Talk Radio. I am your gracious host, DJ Kuda, right back at the helm of today's show. See you guys on the next one. Peace.